3 years have gone by this time. Sun's come up over 1,000 times. Summers and winters have cracked the surface of our mountain just a little bit more. The rain's brought down some of the dirt. Babies that weren't even born yet are now completing full sentences. And people that thought they were right, young and spry, can't bound up a flight like they used to, without their heart fluttering just a little bit more. All that can happen in 1,000 days. Nature's been pushing and contriving in other ways too. A number of young people have fallen in love and gotten married. Yeah, time has carved away a few fractions of an inch from our mountain. About 1 million gallons have gone by the mill. A new home was set up here and there under a roof. You know, everyone in the world seems to get married. Our town ain't hardly any exceptions. Everyone climbs into their grave married. First act is called Day in Our Life. This act, Love and Marriage. There's another act coming after this one, but I reckon you can guess what that one's about. Well, it's 3 years later, July 1904. Just after high school commencement. That's when all the young folk up and get married. That is after they pass their final examinations in solid geometry and they've done their Cicero orations. It's when everybody young thinks they're fit to be married. It's morning again. Only this time, it's been raining, pouring and thundering. Why, Mrs. Gibbs and Mrs. Webb's gardens, drenched. All those bean poles and pea vines, drenched. I was down on Main Street just the other day. Looked like a curtain of rain and wind. Looks like it's probably going to be starting up here again soon. And there's the 5:45 to Boston, right on time. And there's Mrs. Webb coming down to fix breakfast. And there's Mrs. Gibbs, as if this is some ordinary day. Now, I don't have to point out to the ladies in my audience that these two women they see before them, why, they've made 3 meals a day. One of them for 20 years. The other, 40. That's 3 meals a day, raised 2 kids apiece, washed all the clothes, washed all the dishes, fed all the children, took care of them, took care of the house, and neither one of them had a vacation. And neither one of them had a nervous breakdown. Like one of those Midwestern poets said, got to love life to have life. Well, you got to have life to love life. That is what they call a vicious circle.
Giddy up, mister.
And there's Howie Newsom coming to deliver the milk. And there's Cy Crowd coming to deliver the paper like his brother before him.
Morning, Howie.
Good morning, son. Oh, anything in the papers I ought to know about?
Oh, nothing much, except for losing about the best baseball pitcher Rover's Corners ever had, George Gibbs.
Oh, reckon he is.
He could hit and run the bases, too.
Mighty fine ball player. Oh, Bessie. I guess I can stop and talk if I'm mind to.
I just don't see how someone would give up a thing like that just to get married. Would you, Howie?
Well, I can't say, Si, I never had to tell it that way. Oh, good morning.
Morning, Howie.
Why, you're up early, Bill?
I'm trying to prevent a flood. All the rivers are rising.
Oh, Si Crowder's all worked up here about George
Maine became a Parsons. That's just the way it goes, Si. Howie, how's the weather looking?
Oh, ain't that bad. Well, they clear up for good.
Morning, Howie. You think it'll rain today?
Oh, morning, Mrs. Gibbs. Well, the rains are heavy. I think maybe it'll clear up.
Well, I certainly hope so.
How much do you want today?
Well, I'm going to be having a house full of relations, so I'll take 3 of milk and 2 of cream.
My wife says to tell you we both hope they'll be very happy. No, they will, Mrs. Gibbs.
Thank you, Howie. Tell your wife I hope she gets to the wedding.
Oh, she'll be there. She'll be there if she can. Oh, morning, Mrs. Webb.
Good morning, Mr. Newsom. Now, I know I told you I needed 4 quarts of milk, but I'm hoping you can spare me another.
Oh, yes, ma'am. And 2 of cream.
You. Do you think it's going to rain again, Mr. Newsom?
Well, I was just saying to Mrs. Gibbs that how it may lighten up. Mrs. Newsom told me to tell you that's how we hope they'll both be very happy, Mrs. Webb. No, they will.
Thank you, Mr. Newsom, and thank Mrs. Newsom for me, too. And we're counting on seeing you later at the wedding.
Yes, Mrs. Webb. We hope to be there. Couldn't miss that.
Well, Ma, the day is coming. You're losing one of your chicks.
Frank Gibbs, don't you say another word. I feel like crying every minute. Sit down and drink your coffee.
The groom's up, shaving himself, only there ain't an awful lot to shave. Whistling and singing, I can't glad to leave us. Every now and then, he looks in the mirror and goes, I do. But he don't sound convincing to me.
Frank, I don't know how he's going to manage. I've arranged his clothes, made sure his feet are dry, made sure that he has warm things to wear. You're too young, Frank. Henry won't think of those things. He'll catch his death of cold within a week.
Why, Julia, I was remembering my wedding morning.
Oh, don't start that, Frank Gibbs.
I was the scaredest young fellow in the state of New Hampshire. I thought I'd make a mistake for sure. And then I saw you walking down that aisle. You were the prettiest girl I'd ever seen. Only trouble was, I'd never seen you before. There I was in the Congregational Church, marrying a total stranger.
How do you think I felt? Oh, weddings are perfectly awful things, Frank. Total farces, that's what they are. Here, I made something for you.
Why, Julia Hersey, French toast.
Ain't very hard to make, and I had to do something.
How'd you sleep last night, Julia?
I heard a lot of hours being struck off.
Yes, I get a shock every time I think of George setting out to be a family man. That great gangling thing. There is nothing so terrifying in this world as a son. The relations of a father and a son are the darndest, awkwardest.
Mother and daughter's no picnic, let me tell you.
Well, I suppose they'll have their troubles. It's none of our business. Everybody has a right to their own troubles.
Well, people are meant to live 2 by 2 in this world. It ain't natural to be lonesome.
You know one of the things I was scared of when I married you, Julia?
Oh, go on with you.
I was afraid that we wouldn't have material for conversation that wouldn't last us more than a few weeks. You know, I was afraid that we'd go off and eat our meals in silence. It's a fact. You and I have been conversing for 20 years now. No noticeable barren spells.
Well, good weather, bad weather, ain't always very choice. But I can always manage to find something to say. Have you heard Rebecca stirring around upstairs?
No, the only day of the year she has been managing people's business upstairs. Last I saw, she was hiding in her room. I got the impression that she was crying.
Oh, Lord, this has got to stop. Rebecca? Rebecca, come and get your breakfast.
Good morning, everybody. Only 5 more hours to live.
Oh, George Gibbs, where are you going?
Just outside to see my girl.
It's raining torrents outside. Don't forget to put on your overshoes.
It's just a step, Mom.
You'll catch your death of cold and cough all through the service.
George, listen to your mother.
Fine.
Kill yourself. All weathers. But as long as you live in this house, you'll live wisely. Thank you. I don't think Mrs. Webb is expecting company at 7 o'clock in the morning. Why don't you sit and have some coffee first?
I'll be back in a minute. Good morning.
George, you frightened me. Now, you can come in a minute out of the wet, but you know I can't ask you in.
Why not?
George, you know as well as I do, the groom can't see his bride on his wedding day. Not until he sees her in church.
That's just a superstition.
Oh.
Good morning, Mr. Webb.
Morning, George.
Mr. Webb, you don't believe in a superstition like that, do you?
Well, a lot of common sense in some superstitions, George.
Millions have followed it, George. You don't want to be the first to fly in the face of custom.
How's Emily?
Oh, she hasn't waked up yet. I haven't heard a sound out of her.
Emily's asleep.
Well, no wonder. We were up till all hours, packing and sewing. I'll tell you what I'm going to do. You sit down here next to Mr. Webb and drink this cup of coffee. And I'll see if she doesn't come down and surprise you. There's some bacon too, but don't be long about it.
Well, George, how are you?
Oh, I'm fine. Mr. Webb, what sense could there be in a superstition like that?
Well, see, on a wedding morning, the girls' heads have to be full of clothes, and one thing and another. You think that's probably it?
Yeah, I never thought of that.
Girls have to be a mite nervous on a wedding day.
I wish a guy could just get married without all that arching up and down, you know?
Every man that's ever lived just felt that way about it, George. But it hasn't been any use. Now, it's the women folk built up weddings, my boy. For a while, now the women had it all their own. Man looks pretty small at a wedding, George. All those good women stand shoulder to shoulder, making sure they're not tied in a mighty public way.
Well, you believe in it, don't you, Mr. Webb?
Oh yes, oh yes. And don't you misunderstand me, my boy. Marriage, a wonderful thing, wonderful thing. Don't you forget that.
No, sir. Mr. Webb, how old were you when you got married?
Well, you see, I've been to college, taking some time to get settled. Oh, Mrs. Webb, she wasn't much older than what Emily is. Oh, age doesn't have much to do with George. Not compared with other things.
What were you going to say, Mr. Webb?
I don't know. Was I going to say something? George, I was thinking the other day about some advice my father gave to me when I got married. Charles, he said, start out early showing who's boss, he said. Best thing to do is give an order, even if it don't make sense, so she'll learn to obey. Anything about your wife irritates you? Conversation, anything. Just get up, leave the house. I don't think it clear to her, he said. Oh yes, he said never let your wife know how much money you have. Never.
Mr. Webb, I don't think...
So I take the opposite of my father's advice. And I've been happy ever since. Let that be a lesson to you, George. Never have advice on personal matters. George, you gonna raise chickens on your farm?
What?
You gonna raise chickens on your farm?
Well, Uncle Luke's never been about the chicken.
What came into my office the other day, George? File system for raising chickens. I want you to read it. Think about beginning in a small way in the backyard, and I'm going to put an incubator in the cellar.
Charles, you are not talking about that old incubator again, are you? I thought you should be talking about things worthwhile.
Well, Merle, want to give the boys some good advice? I'll go upstairs and leave you alone.
Now, George, Emily must come down and eat her breakfast. She sends you her love, but she doesn't want to lay eyes on you. Goodbye.
Goodbye? bridegroom should see his father-in-law the day of the wedding, or near it. Yeah, remember that.
Thank you, Mr. Webb. Thank you, Mrs. Webb. I'm going to interrupt again. I'm sure all of you want to know how this all happened. This wedding, this plan to spend a lifetime together. I'm interested in how such big things happen. You know how it is. 21, 22, make a couple decisions, then bam, you're 70. You've been an attorney for 50 years, and that white-haired lady you got sitting next to you, you've had over 50,000 meals with her. How do these things happen? Well, Emily and George are about to show you the exact conversation they had when they, how you say, knew they were meant for each other. But before they do, I want you to do something for me. I want all of you to close your eyes. Close your eyes. I want you to think back. Think back to when you were young. I want you to think back to when you were young and in love. Remember that? Walk around, kind of a daze. End up on a street. Don't know how you got there. People talk to you, you hear half or quarter of what they're saying. You're just a little bit crazy. Can you do that for me? Okay. Here we go. They'll be coming out of school at 3 o'clock. Now, George was just elected class president, but it's June. So that means he'll be class president next year for the whole senior year, and Emily was just elected treasurer and secretary. They'll be coming any minute. Now, I don't need to point out how important this is. And here they come.
I can't believe I've got to go home. Goodbye. Oh, Ernestine. Ernestine, can you come over today? Would you mind? Isn't that just sort of the worst thing? Tell your mother you have to. Goodbye. Goodbye, Helen. Goodbye, Fred.
Hey, Emily. Can I carry books home for you?
Why, thankfully, it isn't far.
Excuse me a minute. See, Bob, if I'm running a little late, start practice anyway. Give her some long time, okay? We'll do, George.
See you later, George.
See you later.
Goodbye, Lizzie.
Bye, Lizzie. I'm awfully glad you're elected too, Emily.
Thank you.
Emily, why are you mad?
I'm not mad at you.
But you've been treating me so funny lately.
Well, since you asked me, I might as well tell you. Goodbye, Miss Corcoran.
Bye, Miss Corcoran. So, what was it?
I don't like the whole change that's come over you in the last year. I'm sorry to hurt your feelings, but I mean, God's telling the truth and shame the devil.
Change? What do you mean?
Well, up to a year ago, I used to like you a lot. I used to watch as you did everything.
wagon. Everyone says Tom Humphrey drives like a crazy man.
Well, I tell you what, you have yourself a glass of water. I tell you, you gotta look both ways on Main Street these days. It's getting dangerous out there. Now, what do you have?
I'll have a strawberry phosphate.
One strawberry fast.
Have an ice cream soda with me. 2 strawberry ice cream sodas, Mr. Morgan.
2 strawberry ice cream sodas coming right up. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. There are 125 horses on Main Street today, I'm telling you. And the state inspector was just here the other day, and now they're bringing these automobiles. It's getting so dangerous out there, I just stay home. It used to be a day a dog could go to sleep all day on Main Street, and I went home, forgot the cherries. Can't do it without the cherries. And all day and not be disturbed. There you go. You enjoy them now.
Thank you, Mr. Morgan.
Yes, Mrs. What can I do for you?
They're so expensive.
No, don't think of it like that. We're celebrating our election. And then, do you know what else I'm celebrating?
No.
I'm celebrating because I've got a friend that tells me all the things that ought to be told.
George, please don't think of that. What made me say it? It's not true. You're...
No, Emily, you stick to it. I'm glad you spoke to me the way you did. But you see, I'm going to change so quick, you better learn to change. Emily, I want to ask you for a favor.
What?
If I do go away to stay at agriculture college next year, do you think you can write me a letter once in a while?
I certainly will. I certainly will, George. It certainly seems like being away 3 years, you get in touch with things. Maybe letters from Rover's Corners wouldn't be so interesting after a while. Rover's Corners isn't a very important place when you think of all of New Hampshire, but I think it's a very nice town.
The day wouldn't come when I wouldn't know how to know everything that's happening here.
Well, I'll try to make my letters interesting.
Emily, you know, whenever I meet a farmer, I ask him if he thinks it's important to go to agriculture school to be a good farmer.
Why, George?
You know, some of them even say it's a waste of time. I mean, you could get all the things out of the pamphlets the government sends out. And you know, Uncle Luke's getting old. He's about ready to start taking over their farm tomorrow. But
Mine.
like you say, being gone all that time and being in other places and meeting other people, gosh, if anything like that happened, I don't want to leave. I guess new people aren't better than new ones. That they almost never are. And I feel like you're as good as a friend as I got. And I don't need to go meet other people in other towns.
But George, maybe it's very important for you to go. Learn all about that pattern judging and swinging things. Of course, I don't know.
I'm gonna make up my mind right now. I won't even go. I'll tell Pa about it tonight.
Why, George, I don't see why you have to decide right now. It's a whole year away.
No, Emily, I'm glad you spoke to me about that fault in my character. What you said was right. There was one thing that was wrong in me. That was when you said for a year I wasn't missing people. And let's just say you, for instance, while you were watching me while I did everything, well, I was doing the same to you all along. Of course, I always thought about you as one of the cheap people I always thought about. And I always looked for who you were with on the bleachers and who you were walking home with. And for 3 days now, I've been trying to walk home with you. But yesterday you walked home with Miss Corcoran.
Why, George, life's awfully funny. How could I have known that? Why, I thought...
Listen, Emily, I'm going to tell you why I'm not going to agriculture school. I think that once you found a person that you're very fond of, and well, a person who's very fond of you too, and likes you well enough to be interested in your character, well, I feel like that's just as important as college is, and that's what I think.
I think it's awfully important, too.
Emily, if I do improve and make a big change, would you be? I mean, could you be?
I am now. I always have been.
So I guess it's an important talk we've been having.
Yes, yes.
Wait just a minute and I'll walk you home, okay? Mr. Morgan, I'm gonna have to go home and get the money to pay this. I'm really sorry.
What's that, George? You don't mean to tell me
Yes,
that you
yes,
don't...
but I have my reasons. Here, keep my watch. I'll be back in 5 minutes.
Keep it. I trust you, George.
I'll be back.
I trust you 10 years. It's not a day over. Emily, you all over your shop?
Yes, thank you, Mr. Morgan. It was nothing.
I'm all right. I'll see you later, Mr. Morgan. Thanks for everything.
Goodbye, kids. Now, we're ready to get on with this wedding. Things to be said about a wedding. A lot of thoughts, feelings that go on. We can't cover them all in one wedding. Certainly not a wedding in Grover's Corners where they're rather short and plain. In this wedding, I play the minister. That gives me the right to say a few extra things about it. And up till now, the play's been pretty serious. Some churches call weddings a sacrament. I don't really know what that means, but I can guess. Like Mrs. Gibbs was saying before, people were made to live 2 by 2. This is a good wedding. Good people. Put together. Even at a good wedding, there's confusion that goes on deep in people's minds. And we thought that ought to be part of this play too. Real hero isn't even on the stage. You know who it is. Like one of those European fellas said, every child born is nature's attempt at a perfect human being. Well, nature's been pushing and contriving for some time now. And while I think nature's interested in quantity, I think she's also interested in quality. That's why I got the ministry. And let's not forget all those other witnesses here today, the ancestors, millions of them, all set out to live 2 by 2. Millions of them. Well, that's all my sermon. It won't very long anyway.
suppose there's nothing to be crying about. He came over me at breakfast this morning. There was Emily, sitting and eating her breakfast as she's done for the past 17 years. And now she's going to be eating it somewhere else, in somebody else's house. I suppose that's it. But then there was Emily. She suddenly said, I can't eat another mouthful. And she put her head on the table. And she cried. I've just got to say it. There's something downright cruel about the way we send our daughters off into marriage. I sure hope some of her friends have told her a thing or two. I know it's cruel, but I couldn't bring myself to say anything. The whole world's wrong. That's what's the matter. Here they come.
Hey, George! Yeah, I'm looking at fellas. He looks scared to death. Guy in his waiting, he's sweating more than a pig about to get butchered. He's gonna score a home run with her tonight. Yeah! George, don't look so innocent, you old geezer. We all know what you're thinking. Don't disgrace the team, big boy. Hey, get on out of here. That's enough of that. We used to do that back in Rome and the like. More civilized now.
Pushing me so.
But George, you wanted this.
No, Mom. Listen.
No, George, you're a man now.
Listen, Mom. The last time I asked, all I want to do is be a fellow.
If anyone should hear you, now stop. I'm ashamed of you.
Where's Emily?
Oh, thank you. You gave me such a turn.
Mom, stop crying. Come on. Mom.
Just give me a minute to catch my breath.
Mom, how about this, okay? See, every Thursday night it's for me and Emily to come over dinner, okay? We're gonna come over. Stop crying. Come here. We gotta get ready for this.
I've never felt so alone in my entire life. And George over there, looking so... I hate him. I wish I were dead. Papa, Papa.
Emily? Emily? Don't get upset.
Papa, I don't want to get married.
Emily, everything's alright.
When can I stay? As I am for a while? Let's go away.
No, Emily, let's stop and think a minute.
Don't you remember? All the time you used to say, all the time, I was your girl. There must be a lot of places we can go. I could work for you. I could keep house.
You must think such things. You're just nervous. George, come here. Why, you're married to the best young fellow in the world. George is a fine fellow.
But Papa,
Giving away my daughter, George. You think you can take care of her?
Mr. Webb, I want to try. Emily, I'm going to do my best. I love you, and I need you.
if you love me, help me. All I want is someone to love me.
I'm going to try.
And I mean forever. Do you hear? Forever and ever.
Come, wait for us. You know it'll be all right. Come quick.
your lovely wedded
Perfectly lovely wedding. Loveliest wedding I ever saw. Oh, I do love a good wedding, don't you? Doesn't she make a lovely bride?
I do.
Do you, Emily, take George to be your lovely wedded husband?
Don't know when I've ever seen such a lovely wedding, but I always cry. Don't know why, but I always cry. I just love to see young people happy, don't you? Oh, I think it's lovely.
The ring. I've married over 200 couples in my day. Do I believe in it? I don't know. Ann marries Ann. The house, kids, car, Sunday drives in the Ford. First rheumatism, grandkids. Second rheumatism, the illness, the deathbed, the funeral, the reading of the will. 1 in 1,000 are interesting. Let's have Mendelssohn's Wedding March.
Aren't they a lovely couple? Oh, I have never been to such a nice wedding, and I am sure they're going to be very happy. I always say happiness. That's the great thing. The most important thing is to be happy.
That's the end of Act 2. 10-minute intermission.